Okay, so now what if you're doing some research? How could Read and Write help you with your research? Well, let's say I'm doing a project on lions. So I'm learning about different animals and I've chosen the lion. I need to gather some information I can use to turn into a bit of a write-up or a presentation. And maybe we're going to share these projects with maybe a buddy class or our classmates. So I'm going to go ahead and turn on my Read and Write. Purple puzzle piece, click once. Okay, so this time it's coming up like this, which means that I can move it around if it's in the way. So here are my lion facts. I can read this to myself quietly, or I can, same as before, I can click where I want it to start to read. I can see if that works.
National Geographic Kit.
This time it started at the very top, so it's going to read all of these options up here before it actually gets the information. I don't have time for that. So I'm going to go down to my line facts, and I'm going to highlight what I would like to hear. So I highlighted, and to highlight, what I need to do is I'm going to put my cursor, this arrow here, over where I want to start reading. I'm going to click and hold down on my mouse pad, and then I'm going to drag with my other finger over top of the words I would like to hear. Now they're highlighted, they're turned blue. So I can play.
Lion facts. 1. Lions usually live in groups of 10 or 15 animals called prides. 2.
Okay, so that sounded like it could be important. So I've learned that lions live in groups called prides. I want to remember that. How could I do that? Well, I have a few colored highlighters here. So I'm going to use one color highlighter for information I want to remember, and another one for words that I would like to find out what they mean. Or maybe I want to hold on to them so I can explain to other people what they mean. So I'm going to use green for facts that I want to hold. So lions usually live in groups of 10 or 15 animals called prides. Okay, I'm going to highlight that, and then I'm going to click the green highlighter. Now, here's the cool thing. I can keep reading. So I'm going to highlight again, turning it blue, and then click play. Don't worry, your green highlighting will stay.
2. An adult male's roar can be heard up to 8 kilometers away.
Okay, that was interesting. But I think maybe there's some more important information I can find. So I'm going to hit pause again to continue.
3. A female lion needs 5 kilograms of meat a day. A male needs 7 kilograms or more a day.
Okay.
4.
That sounds important, so I'm going to highlight that. I'd like to remember that. And, oops. Now I'm going to turn it green. I'd like to remember that information. Highlight what else I'd like to hear.
4. The name for a baby lion is a cub, whelp, or lionette.
Okay.
5.
I knew some of those, but some of that was new. I knew a baby lion was called a cub, but a whelp and a lionette I didn't know. So I'm going to highlight that. Baby lion is a cub, whelp, or lionette. I don't need to highlight this part. It's not as important. So after you've highlighted with one of these colored highlighters, you do need to highlight with the blue highlighter again to be able to hear what the text says.
5. Lions go on the hunt for food mostly from dusk till dawn. Female lions do 85-90% of the pride's hunting, whilst the male lions patrol the territory and protect the pride.
So it sounds like that might be important, but I didn't really understand what that was saying. There were some words there that I didn't understand. So I'm going to stop. Now I can use this one right here, this speech bubble with an arrow. If I click that,
lions go on the hunt for food mostly from dusk till dawn.
It will read just that sentence. I'm going to turn it off again. Now I'm not quite sure what territory means. So I have a few tools I can use. This book here is actually a dictionary. If I click it and highlight the word I need, it will tell me that a territory is, I can read it or I can have it read to me.
Noun. An area that you believe to be your own. She was in my territory.
Okay, that helps me a little bit. I'm going to keep going. Sometimes you don't get the right definition right away. A word can have multiple meanings depending on the context, what we're talking about.
Noun. Land that is part of or ruled by a particular country. You are now in home territory.
Okay, so that one might make a little bit more sense. So it sounds like a land that the lions are in control of. That's their space, their house. Okay, so that's what territory means. Well, if I wasn't sure what it meant, I bet somebody else may have that question too. So I'm going to close the dictionary. If that dictionary doesn't work for you, you can also use this picture dictionary. So it looks like a picture. When I click it, it's going to try and come up with the best picture that it can to give me an idea of what the word means. Sometimes it does a great job. Sometimes it has some trouble finding a picture or isn't able to. So I still have this word highlighted. Oops, not anymore. I want to remember it for later. So I'm going to highlight and turn it to pink. So I'm turning it a different color. And these words are ones that I want to save for later. Okay. If I keep going, let's read one more. So I'm going to highlight this one.
6. In the wild, lions live for an average of 12 years and up to 16 years. They live up to 25 years in captivity. 7. Often known as the king.
Okay, stop there. So I think the lifespan of a lion is an important thing to remember. So I'm going to highlight that. And I'm going to use the green highlighter. That's important information. Now I heard this word captivity and I'm not quite sure what it means. So I'm going to highlight it in pink. I'm going to save that for later. And I'm going to turn on the dictionaries. You can also turn on 2 dictionaries at the same time. So I can use the picture dictionary and this other dictionary. So here the dictionary says,
Noun. The state of being a slave.
That doesn't seem quite to fit.
Noun. The state of being imprisoned.
That doesn't quite help me either. So I don't think we're putting lions in jail. But I noticed the picture dictionary here. It looks like the lion is at the zoo. So the lion is in its space at the zoo. It's captive. It's not in the wild anymore. So this picture dictionary helps me understand what that meant. Okay, so I've got my information now. I need to do something about it. So I have a few things that I can do. This wheel here with the different colors is going to help me get all the information that I've highlighted into one page so that I can use that to make my report. So remember, I highlighted all the important information I want in my report in green. So I could choose all of these colors, but we have different purposes for the colors. So the pink words are words that were new and I want to remember, but they're not the most important information. So I'm not going to choose the pink one. I'm going to make sure there's no check mark beside it. I only want the green, so there's a check mark beside it. Now I hit OK. And it's telling me it's going to make a new page with all of those bits of information. All right, so here are all my lion facts. And I'm welcome to use all of the read and write tools we've learned already to be able to help me turn this into something that sounds a bit more like a report and to make sure it's in my own words. But I'm going to go back to our facts one more time. My highlighting is still here. Now I want to do something with the pink words. So this time I'm going to hit this button here. So there are 3 lines. It looks like there are 3 buttons and then some bars beside of them. This is a vocabulary button. So this vocabulary means words we're not sure what they mean or important terms. So I'm going to click it. And it's trying to make a list for me. there are my words that I highlighted in pink. So there's my territory. It has the definition and the pictures that I saw from the dictionaries, and then captivity, and it also has the definitions and the pictures as well, which helped me understand. So there are a few tools you can use to compile your research for using Google Read and Write. There's one more tool here, this globe with a magnifying glass. If you would like to search more information, you can also click it, and it will bring you to a page where you can search some more information about that. So I wanted to know a little bit more about lions. Oops, that's the dictionary. I want to know some more about lions. I can type it in the top, and away I go. So if you can't remember how to get back to the main Google page, that's another way that you can do that.